Hello, and welcome to our video presentation designed to help you prepare for scheduling for your junior year of high school. As a freshman and sophomore, you are getting used to high school and getting a good start on your graduation requirements. As a junior and a senior, your schedule has more flexibility and you can start to better prepare yourself for life after high school. Please use these next 2 years to try new things and set yourself up to be competitive in your field of interest. When planning your schedule, we ask that you first consider classes that are required for graduation and for your chosen diploma track. On our website and in our Google Classroom, we have a copy of the Indiana diploma requirements, as shown in this image, to help guide you. Your first few selected classes will be in the core academic areas required for graduation. For English, you will choose between regular American Lit and Composition or AP Language and Composition. For math, counselors have a recommendation given by your current math teacher. However, rule of thumb is, if you are currently enrolled in geometry, you will progress to Algebra 2. If you are currently enrolled in Algebra 2, you will progress to pre-calculus and trigonometry. Please talk with your math teacher or your counselor if you are unsure of your next step. All juniors are required to take U.S. history, so you will choose between regular or AP. Please note that for AP English and AP Social Studies, your GPA must be at or near a 3.5 to select these classes. Remember that 3 years of science are also required for graduation. Since you have more options to choose from this year, please review the descriptions of the options in the course description guide to satisfy your science requirement. If you have not taken health or personal finance yet, you may wish to include those classes this year. For foreign language, 2 years are recommended for a Core 40 diploma, and 3 years are required for an academic honors diploma. Don't forget to include fine arts credits if needed, or any music programs that you may be a part of. Some students need or wish to take classes in summer school. Please note that a maximum of 2 credits is allowed. Information on summer school enrollment will be released in May. Please discuss your plans with your counselor for approval. After including all of your required classes, you may then choose your electives. We ask that you please choose your electives for the right reasons. Choose electives because they interest you or because you'd like to try something out. Remember to select alternate electives that you are comfortable with us using if necessary. Sometimes your original list of classes does not fit together as we'd like it to, and we must use your alternates. Do not simply fill in the box with a random class. Please remember that counselors work very hard to get you the classes that you select. For that reason, we do not honor schedule changes once the school year begins. We will ask you to follow through with your choices, so please fill out your sheet consciously and carefully. Here is an example of what your scheduling sheet will look like. This should look somewhat familiar to you from last year. Please note the arrow pointing at the alternate electives that we'd like you to fill in as backup choices. Lines for summer school choices are also included, but please note that this does not register you for summer school. You must do that in May. Now that you are moving into the second half of your high school career, new options exist for you starting this year. These include classes worth concurrent credit, the option to apply to the Hammond Area Career Center, the option to apply to be a cadet teacher, and the option to take a college class through the Rule 10 program. Maybe you've heard the term concurrent credit but aren't sure what it means exactly. Concurrent credit means that you can earn college credit for a class that you take at Highland High School. We have agreements with Purdue University, Indiana University, and Ivy Tech for next year. This allows you to get a jump start on college credits even before you graduate high school. These college credits are often less expensive than taking them after you graduate. You must meet GPA minimums and complete the necessary application in order to qualify. This is a brief overview of the classes that are available for concurrent credit for next year. Please note that concurrent credits are also available if you attend the Hammond Area Career Center or take a Rule 10 class. Applying to the Hammond Area Career Center is an option for juniors and seniors. Please note that there are two parts to the application process. You must complete their online application and complete and return the parent permission form to our guidance office. These forms are available in our office and in our Google Classroom. Please note that you must complete a full schedule for next year. We cannot shorten your schedule at Highland High School until you have been accepted by the ACC. If you are accepted, you will attend the ACC for periods 1, 2, and 3. You will then return to HHS for periods 4 through 7, where you will take your core academic classes. The ACC essentially replaces your elective choices at HHS. Therefore, prior to applying to the ACC, you must consider which electives are the most important to you. Students will be informed of their acceptance status in May. Please note that you may not be accepted to your first choice program, or you may be waitlisted if your program of choice is full. This is why it is important to have a full schedule in place just in case the ACC doesn't work out as planned. Depending on your acceptance status, you can work with your counselor on the next steps to finalize your schedule. Education Professions, or cadet teaching as it is referred to, is an option for students who wish to gain experience in working with children. This is a unique student teaching experience where Highland students partner with an elementary teacher at one of our Highland elementary schools during periods 1 and 2 each school day. If you are interested, you may get an application from your counselor. After you submit your application, you will be called for a brief interview. If you are accepted, we can remove 2 hours worth of electives to make room for cadet teaching. You must complete a full schedule with your counselor during scheduling. Please just make a note of which electives you would like us to remove if you are selected to be a cadet teacher. Please see Mrs. Richardson in room 118 if you have questions about this program. Rule 10 half-days are a bit more common for students going into senior year. However, it can be an option for students going into junior year. The Rule 10 program consists of students leaving after 4th hour to attend a class on an actual college campus like Purdue Northwest or IU Northwest. Your overall credit count must be strong, and your diploma type must be considered since we are shortening your day. If you are eligible to apply, you can obtain an application from your counselor. The university will review your transcript and test scores and make a decision as to acceptance. Please note that you must complete a full schedule with your counselor during scheduling. If you are accepted, you will select a class with a college advisor, and then your counselor is able to shorten your schedule at HHS. Important considerations include transportation and cost. It is the student or parent responsibility to provide transportation to your Rule 10 class. Additionally, the cost for a Rule 10 class is whatever the per credit hour cost is at that university, oftentimes making a regular 3 credit hour class cost a few $100s. Rule 10 classes are not eligible for financial aid. However, if you receive free and reduced lunch, then the fee for your college class can be waived. You only have to take 1 class at the university each semester, and you must remain at HHS through a minimum of 4th hour. Please discuss this further with your counselor if you are interested. Remember that this is also an option to you during senior year if it doesn't work out during junior year. Please note that for next year, there have been a few changes to classes that you may be familiar with. Next year, Introduction to Business is now only a semester long. It was previously a year-long class. Principles of Business Management is now a year-long class. It was previously only a semester long. Lastly, Child Development and Advanced Child Development have merged together to become one year-long class entitled Advanced Child Development. As we wrap up, we ask that you remember a few things as you plan your schedule for next year. Please remember to plan a full schedule before you meet with your counselor. Unfortunately, our time together is very limited. Please make note of any questions that you have on your scheduling sheet and do the best that you can to fill it out completely. Please fill your schedule out in pencil. Any changes that need to be made are much easier to fix if we can erase. Please review your choices with someone that you trust at home. We ask that your parent or guardian sign off on your choices to indicate to us that you have discussed this as a family. Feel free to talk to teachers to ask questions and get recommendations. Hearing from a teacher who instructs a class that you are interested in can go a long way to help you make final decisions. Please also consult our course description guide. Do not just write classes down if you don't know what you will be doing in them. Remember, we will not be able to change your schedule once it is finalized, so please read course descriptions carefully and make sure that the classes you write down make sense for you. During the scheduling process, it is very difficult for students to sign up to see counselors to ask questions in advance. As we are scheduling classes during several hours of each day, we are unable to call students down like we usually can during other times of the year. If you or your parents have questions about how to fill out your scheduling sheet, we ask that you send us an email with your question. This will yield a much faster response. For students with last names A through L, you may feel free to email Mrs. Vesmar. For students with last names M through Z, you may feel free to email Miss Lemon. We thank you and your English teacher for making time for our video. Please re-watch any sections that you need to hear again and email us or write down any questions that you have. We look forward to working with you over the course of the next week.